Today, I want to share something a little different. With Mother's Day coming up, I've been reflecting on three women in my life: my mom, my wife, and my mother in law. And something they all did that may not have seemed big in the moment, but left a lasting impact. In a way, this is a toast, a tribute to the lessons they left behind. Today, looking back, I realize those words, those small moments, were were never small at all. They shaped identity, they planted confidence, and they left a voice inside of me that I can still hear today. So I want to take a moment and say thank you to my mom for seeing something in me when I was just beginning, to my wife for doing the same with our sons and continuing to do it even now. And to my mother in law, because when I look at the woman my wife has become, I know there was someone before her who planted those same seeds. Thank you for what may not always be seen, but lives on through generations. So today, I just I don't just share a teaching. I raise a toast to mothers and to those who shape the mothers, to those who see beyond what is visible, to those who speak life when it would be easier to correct, to those who see something in us that we don't yet see in ourselves. Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for helping us become who we truly are. Have you ever been asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's one of the most common questions parents ask their children. But looking back, I realized something. It's not just about the answer the child gives, it's about how the parent responds. I remember when I was a kid, my parents took me to the circus for the very first time, and I was fascinated by the clowns. Now I know some people are actually afraid of clowns. Some even associate them with something dark or evil. And honestly, I understand that perspective now. But as a child, I didn't see any of that. I saw joy, I saw laughter, I saw someone making people smile. So when my mom asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, a clown. And she didn't shut me down. She didn't say, that's silly or that's not realistic. She smiled, laughed, and said, but you already are, my son. You already are. Looking back now, I realized something powerful. My mom wasn't responding to the job, she was responding to what she saw in me. Maybe she saw joy in me. Maybe she saw a lightness in me. Maybe she saw someone who could make others smile. And instead of correcting me, she reflected it back to me. She made me feel seen, valued, and accepted. And I've seen that same thing in my wife with our sons when they were kids and even now as young adults. She had always encouraged them. No matter how big, small, or even unrealistic something sounded, she never crushed it. She spoke life into them. She made them feel like there was something inside of them worth paying attention to. And I can only imagine they thought at times, what is it that she sees in me that I don't see in myself? And that's right there, and that right there is powerful because most people don't grow up hearing that. Most people hear things like, that's not practical. You need to be realistic. That won't work. But when someone chooses to encourage instead, they're not just being nice, they're doing something much deeper. They are affirming identity. You see, when a child says, I want to be something, they're not just naming a career, they're revealing what excites them, what draws them, a piece of who they are becoming. And in that moment, a response can do one of two things: shut it down or help it grow. You know, this way of seeing people, this ability to call something out of someone that they don't yet see in themselves, that's actually biblical. There's a moment in the book of Judges where God calls Gideon a mighty warrior while he's hiding in fear. God wasn't describing who Gideon was in that moment. He was speaking to who he was becoming. And the Bible also tells us in Ephesians 4:29 that our words should be used to build others up, not tear them down. Which means in moments like that, when someone says, this is what I want to be, we have a choice. We can speak limitation or we can speak life. But there's one more that really stands out to me. When Peter said to Jesus, you are the Son of the living God, Jesus told them, this didn't come from people. This came from my Father. And that makes me think sometimes when someone sees something in you that you don't see in yourself, it's not just encouragement, it might be something deeper. It might be that God is allowing them to see a glimpse of who you're becoming. People may forget what you told them to do, but they will never forget how you made them feel about themselves. When someone feels seen, believed in, and valued, it does something inside of them. It builds confidence, it removes fear, it gives them permission to explore who they are, and sometimes it plants a seed that grows years later. To every parent watching this, you don't always have to have the perfect answer. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply say, I see something in you. That's interesting. Tell me more. That's something there's something special about that. Because your words can become the voice they carry inside for the rest of their lives. And for those of you reflecting back on your childhood, maybe you had someone like that in your life. Maybe you didn't. But if someone ever believed in you like that, don't overlook it. And if you didn't have that, it's not too late. You can begin to see yourself differently, speak to yourself differently, and even become that person for someone else. Sometimes people don't need someone to tell them what to become. They need someone who looks at them and says, I see something in you and it's worth becoming. Because helping someone become who they truly want to be is one of the most unforgettable things you can ever do.